I'm Holly, and welcome back to the Giles Frontier. Thank you for joining us on this fourth episode of Favorite Family Read-Alouds. Today I have with me Grayson,
Hi.
who's 13, and Grant,
Hi.
who is 10. And these are my guys. We've been reading aloud since Grayson was teeny tiny, and we thought we'd share with you today our favorite read-aloud spot, which is right here in our backyard swing. I used to sit out here when Grayson was a baby and swing and read, and we would listen to the birds and all the different animals out here. So it's become our favorite spot to hang out, to read, and as they've gotten older, whittle. So while they whittle, I'm going to tell you about our book this week, which is The Boxcar Children, written by Gertrude Warner. Now I know this is an oldie, but for us it's a goodie. The first copyright was in 1942. And it's really a classic story of imagination. You know, there's 4 children who are orphaned, and they believe that their only living relative, their grandfather, is a mean man and they don't want to go live with him. So they run off to see if they can live on their own. And of course they find a boxcar and they start to live in this boxcar and all the exciting adventures that goes along with it. And it's fun to read to all of your children together. It's great for them to use their imagination and just think about what it's like to live in a boxcar and then go out in the backyard and play. But today what we want to talk about is it's great to read aloud to all of your children at the same time, but sometimes it's nice to have a special book with one child at a time. We first read The Boxcar Children when Grayson was young, and then I wanted to read it again with Grant and decided it would be a special time for just he and I. So together we read it, enjoyed our snuggle time out here and inside on the couch, and when it was over, what we did was, can you hand me the diorama? I had Grant make a diorama. So this was his school lesson that went along with the Boxcar Children. We took a shoebox and I gave him a bunch of supplies, and I wanted him to show me what the Boxcar Children meant to him, the impressions that it made on him, and the takeaway it was. Now I know as parents sometimes it's really easy to get in there and say, okay, well, why don't you do it this way? And you know, the shelf on the corner was probably right here, so why don't you do that? So I made a conscious effort to let him express what he learned in the literature himself. And then I had him share those thoughts with me. So as you can see, the swimming pool is here, which made a great impression on him because I think he'd like to go take a swim in there in the cool creek. And he made a little fire pit where they cooked, which the boys love doing that. We're sitting out here with a fire this morning. And so those are some things that made an impression on him. Another thing that we did was it's so easy to put all the supplies out on the dining room table and say, okay kids, this is what I want you to work on while I go do the dishes or return phone calls or check my email. I made a decision on this book that I was going to sit with him and watch him do these things and ask questions as we went along. And when I asked Grant at the end of our study together what his favorite part was, he said it was he and I sitting at the dining room table together. And you know, it really isn't a whole lot of time, but it's something that your children remember, the time that you sit and spend with them. And then having him tell me about what he took away from the book was really important to him, and that was the special time that we shared. So we wanted to share this idea with you that literature doesn't have to be a reading comprehension book. It can be enjoyed together as a family, and then doing a fun project together that you can look at and enjoy and talk about for a few weeks. So we want you to go ahead and go to your local library and see if you can find The Boxcar Children. I know that you're going to enjoy it if you haven't read it before. It was a favorite when I was a child, and I would dream about what it would be like to live in a boxcar. You know, every 8 or 9 or 10-year-old wants to go and do that. So we hope you enjoy this read aloud with your family. Give us a shout out on email or Facebook and let us know what you did as a project with your family. So thank you all from the Giles Frontier, from Grayson and Grant. Enjoy the journey.